Often when reading the Bible and finishing a teaching or a passage, it says all who have ears will listen, something along those lines. And I was thinking about that today because we often ask God to reveal certain things to us, certain people, certain situations, certain opportunities, to make sure that we have discernment to know whether we're making the right decisions or not. But a lot of the times, God will give you a direct answer, especially when it comes to people or opportunities. God will give you a direct answer as to what you're supposed to do, but it honestly just depends on if you're listening to that answer or not. And I'll explain. There was this person and they were in my class and we were friends, but I just don't know how to feel about her. I feel like me and her were nothing alike. And of course there's going to be, differences between two people, but I just felt like she didn't want the same things that I want. She definitely doesn't have the same love for God as I have the same love for God. And there are habits that she has that I just cannot, my soul just cannot stand, because that's not how God is. And I'm taking up my cross daily, right? And this isn't about judging or thinking I'm more perfect than somebody else, but it's about knowing where you stand, right? We all have different standards. We all have different things we look for in friends or in relationships. Just knowing where you stand and knowing what fits in that part of your life and what does not. And so basically there was a lot of signs of maybe that I shouldn't be hanging out with her, but at the same time I was coming up for excuses with every sign that I was given. So God just kept putting it in my face more and more. And I was talking about how I was going to do her hair, and I was going to make it in an Ariana Grande style. And she was like, and then she started singing God is a Woman. And I was like, what? I literally told her, I'm like, out of every single song, why are you singing that one? And she just kept saying, God is a woman, God is a woman, and just looking at me dead in my face. And I'm like, that's nothing but spiritual warfare. Like, that's nothing but God showing me this is what she thinks of me. No matter how much you tell her that I've saved your life, no matter how much you tell her the reason why you are where you are today is because of me, no matter how much glory and credit you try to give me, this is what she thinks of me. She takes me for a fool. Now, God is not a man or a woman. God is a human being. We know Jesus came, and Jesus is God. It came in the form of a human being, but God himself, we just say him. It's this whole thing. We just say him because that's the best way we can translate it, right? Our human minds are small. We can't even think of how God really looks, because we can't begin to imagine that. But anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, yeah, like saying God is a woman or God is transgender, God is non-binary, like all that is foolish and it's complete blasphemy. And she said that directly to my face after I've made it clear to her how much my faith and my relationship with God means to me. But that wasn't much of a sign for me. That wasn't enough of a sign for me. So you know what God did? Me and her were having lunch together, and she was showing me her text messages, and I was like, and she actually pointed it out herself, and she was like, notice how everybody's name in my text message has an emoji beside it with like a heart or something but yours. And I looked at her phone, and everybody's name in her iMessage had an emoji beside it except for mine. Now, to the average person, they're like, okay, that's not that big of a deal, it's just an emoji, like you're grown enough, it's not that big of a deal, right? But what she said next was nothing but God telling me, this person is not for you, this person cannot benefit you, and this person needs to leave your life immediately if you want me to do what you've been praying for. So after she said that, you notice how everybody's name has an emoji beside it, right? I was like, okay. And she's like, and she full on looked me dead in my face, and she said, I put emojis beside the names of people that I actually value in my life. I cannot make this up. I was like, really, that tells me everything I need to know. And then she started like laughing, and she was like, no, don't worry, I'm gonna put an emoji beside your name right now. And I just was like, there's no way, to my face, like, people say, let their actions speak for them, their actions speak better than their words do, but her actions were speaking, but I wasn't receiving the message. I had ears, I had eyes, I wasn't listening, and I wasn't looking. So dead to my face, this girl told me, I put emojis beside the names of people that I value, and I'm the only name in her phone that doesn't have an emoji beside it, but I'm the only one that speaks encouragement into her life. I'm the only one that genuinely cares about how she's doing. I'm the only one that wants to be a genuine friend to her, but every single person in her phone has an emoji beside their name but mine. Again, people are going to think I'm reaching, this isn't that big of a deal, but she to my face, I was like, God, does she value me? Should I have her in my life? And to my face, she told me, I put emojis beside people I actually value in my life. And then when she saw that I got offended, or that I was like, really? She was like, oh, I'm just going to switch it afterwards. And after that, I just changed the subject, but I made a mental note of that. So when we keep asking God, show me, show me, show me, show me, and God has shown you a million times, but you refuse to believe what is right in front of your face, it's not going to come as a whisper anymore. It's not going to come as an action. To your face, you will get the answer. Out of her own mouth, she told me, I genuinely don't value you. So there's nothing that I can associate with value to you, because you're not of value to me. I'm just with you just because. I'm with you to drain your energy. I'm with you to spiritually drain you. And that's all she does. She literally drains my energy whenever I hang around her. We don't talk about anything beneficial. We don't talk about life. We don't talk about God. We talk about boys, her boy crushes, whatever. It's high school, immature, whatever. But I was like, wow, like that, like, I don't know why I'm shocked, but like, I've never had anyone to my face tell me I don't value you. They've only just showed me their actions and then I cut them off. But to my face, she told me she didn't value me. So where do you go from here? Yes, she's in one of my classes. Yes, we sit beside each other and all that stuff like that. I'm not just gonna pull up and ignore her, right? We have to remember the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. And then we have to remember what's the definition of love. Love is patient, love is kind, love isn't rude, it isn't self-seeking, it isn't irritable, right? So we have to remember those things. But from now on, I'm not going out to lunch with her at all. No matter what she asked me to do, I'm not going out to lunch with her. She doesn't value me, so she doesn't value my time. She doesn't value my energy. She doesn't value my presence, so she doesn't deserve to be in any of those categories. From now on, boundaries for everything she says. If I don't want to do it, I just straight up say no, and I don't need to explain myself. And I just wanted to give that little story time to give you background, to give you context, to help you understand that we often beg God for things, and He's showing us directly in our face, you need to let go of this before I can give you this. If you do not let go of this, I genuinely cannot bless you right now. And God does that for the betterment of our lives, because if somebody is in our lives and God's about to bless us, like financially, emotionally, even spiritually, like, or even physically, God will, like, your skin will get clear, your hair, like, God will do that for you. Like, there's no problem with that. But God doesn't want you to idolize yourself and idolize your looks, but He will, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, He will do that for you. But if there's somebody in the way that's going to end up being like a big problem and disrupt God's will, that means that God won't get the glory, and God has to get the glory at the end of the day. So God, we have freedom of will. We have the freedom to make a choice, right? And yes, it might be a temptation for me to hang out with her because I don't have anyone else to hang out with, but God says with every temptation, there's a way out. It's not that God didn't say with every temptation there's going to be a comfortable solution. With every temptation, there's a way out. And so I just wanted to make a video today to just tell you, like, if you need to keep your eyes open, but you need to keep your ears open 10 times more. Like, somebody will show you a million times that they don't value you. But if you're not getting the message, even though it hurts and even though it sucks, God will make them tell you to your face how they actually feel about you. Whether it's in a fight, whether it's behind your back, whether it's in your face, He will do it. Right? And it wasn't a shocker because her actions aligned with her words, but it was like somebody told me to my face that they literally have no value for me, but all I've ever done was be a good person to them. Now, again, don't equate the way somebody feels about you with what you're actually worth. We know that we were beautifully and wonderfully made, and God cherishes His children. So if I am a child of God, if the creator of the whole entire world loves me, takes time to talk to me every single day, blesses me, puts me through lessons so that I can learn, if the creator of the whole entire world wants a relationship with me and wants to see me and wants to hear from me and loves my face and loves my voice every single day, some mere human that's spiritually dead and that's on their way to complete destruction is not going to tell me what my value is, especially if I've been nothing but a good person to them. So do not let somebody else's feelings, no matter how much they mean to you, no matter how much of a pedestal you put them in your life, don't let somebody else's feelings towards who you are tell you who you are. God is the only one that can tell you who you are. And as long as God's saying that you're a child of his, that you're his son, that you're his daughter, nobody else's opinion matters. Literally. The creator of the whole entire world wants to hear my voice and wants to see my face every single day. So you telling me that I don't matter means nothing to me because you don't even know him. You can't even have a relationship with him because you're so deep in your lust and in your desires. And I'm not saying that as in a way of perfection or in a way of judging. But again, I told you I was a good friend to her. I did nothing but try to help her. Every time she's like, how are you so good at this? How are you so smart? I never gave credit to myself. I gave credit to God every single time. And I told her, I'm not just this smart out of no way. God has done this for me and he can do it for you too. I'm a mere human like you and he can do it for me, so he can do it for you. I always spoke encouragement to her, right? So as long as you're speaking encouragement to people, as long as you're being a good person, even if people like mess you over, God sees everything. El Roi, that's what they call him, the God who sees. He sees everything. So you don't need to get your lick back. You don't need to fight about it. You don't need to gossip about it. You don't need to do any of that. You quietly distance yourself as much as you can. I know sometimes it's family, so you can't distance yourself physically until you like move out and like I know the predicaments are crazy. Sometimes it's friends and you're in the same classroom as them. It's really hard to do that without causing drama and everything like that. So the Bible literally says, if you can, have peace amongst everybody. If you can, be at peace with everyone. So if you can hold the peace, do that. But do not give up your peace so that somebody else can feel pleased. Every day they please their flesh, but you're carrying your cross daily. And the least you deserve, the least you deserve is peace of mind, right? Even if that means that you need to go to lunch by yourself. You know yourself, you know God, you can talk to God or you can talk to yourself. You can do, you know what I mean? We can't be worried about what people think about us or how we're going to look. The only person I'm trying to impress is God because he orders my steps. He makes my paths. Nobody else. So they can talk, they can have their opinions, but nobody can order my steps. Nobody can put my feet, in places they've never been before. Nobody can put an opportunity before me that can change the whole trajectory of my life but God. So this is just a quick reminder. You can say all you want that you don't know what you're supposed to let go of, but God is showing you. And if God has shown you so many times and you're still not listening, best believe God will tell you. And if it's in a harsh way, he's just trying to get you to understand how the world really works. There's a whole lot of spiritual warfare going on right now, and more than ever before, we need to guard our surroundings because bad company corrupts good morals 100%. Subconsciously, whether you realize it or not, the people you're hanging around says a lot about you.